Along the banks of the longest river on Earth, in the northeastern corner of Africa, lies a land of almost unimaginable history, Egypt. Home to around 110 million people, this is the gift of the Nile, the cradle of one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever known, that rose and flourished here for 3,000 years. It is a country of towering pyramids and golden pharaohs, of endless burning desert and a single shimmering river of life, where the deepest past and the bustling present live side by side. This is Egypt, seen from above. Welcome to Aerial Atlas. Egypt covers around 1 million square kilometers, but almost all of it is desert, a vast, empty sea of sand, part of the mighty Sahara. Life clings to a single thread of green, the river Nile, which flows the entire length of the country from south to north before fanning out into its broad, fertile delta on the Mediterranean shore. To the east lies the warm Red Sea and the rugged Sinai Peninsula, the ancient land bridge to Asia, cut today by the Suez Canal, one of the most vital waterways on the planet. Without the Nile, there would be no Egypt at all, just sand. And just outside Cairo stand the most famous monuments on Earth, the Pyramids of Giza. Built over 4,500 years ago as colossal tombs for the pharaohs, the Great Pyramid of Khufu is the last surviving wonder of the entire ancient world, a man-made mountain of more than 2 million stone blocks, raised with breathtaking precision, and for nearly 4,000 years, the tallest structure ever built by human hands. Beside it crouches the Great Sphinx, its lion's body and human face gazing out across the sands, the silent, eternal guardian of a vanished age. This was the home of ancient Egypt, one of the most dazzling and enduring civilizations in all of human history. For 3,000 years, the pharaohs ruled a kingdom of extraordinary art, architecture, writing, and belief. Here people carved beautiful hieroglyphs into stone, worshipped a vast pantheon of gods, and preserved their dead as mummies for the long journey to the afterlife. From the glittering golden mask of the boy king Tutankhamun to the hidden tombs of the Valley of the Kings, their treasures, now gathered in the great museums of Cairo, still astound the entire world. Egypt's capital, Cairo, is the largest city in both Africa and the Arab world, a vast, teeming, electric metropolis sprawling along the Nile. Its historic heart, Islamic Cairo, is a labyrinth of medieval streets crowded with magnificent mosques and slender minarets, crowned by the great medieval citadel of Saladin. In the famous Khan el-Khalili Bazaar, the air hangs thick with the scent of spice, perfume, and gold, while nearby stand some of the oldest churches in all of Christianity, and the towers of a modern city of more than 20 million souls rise on the horizon. And on the Mediterranean coast lies Alexandria, the great ancient city founded by Alexander himself, once home to the legendary library and lighthouse of the ancient world. Far up the Nile lies Luxor, built upon the ruins of ancient Thebes, and often called the greatest open-air museum on the face of the earth. Here rises the colossal temple complex of Karnak, a vast stone forest of giant carved columns, obelisks and avenues of sphinxes, and the elegant, floodlit Luxor Temple. Across the river, hidden in the desert hills, lies the Valley of the Kings, where mighty pharaohs like Tutankhamun and Ramses were buried in secret, deep in painted tombs cut far into the living rock, surrounded by treasure for eternity. Further south still lies Aswan, the graceful gateway to Nubia and to Africa beyond. Here the mighty Aswan High Dam holds back the Nile to form the vast inland sea of Lake Nasser, and on its shores stand the staggering twin temples of Abu Simbel, carved straight from a cliff face by the great pharaoh Ramses II. And then, in a stunning modern marvel of engineering, cut apart and lifted, stone by stone, to higher ground to save them from the rising waters. This is the land of the proud Nubian people, with their brightly painted villages and ancient culture. Through it all wins the Nile itself, the eternal lifeline and the very soul of Egypt. For thousands of years, its great annual flood brought down the rich black silt that fed an entire civilization, year after year. Today, white-sailed feluccas still drift gracefully upon its waters, just as they have for millennia, and along its banks lie the green fields, the date palms and the mud-brick villages that have sustained the Egyptian people since the very dawn of recorded history. The Nile is, quite simply, the thread on which all of Egypt is strung. Along the eastern shore lies the Red Sea, a world of dazzling, jewel-bright beauty beneath the waves. Its warm, crystal-clear waters and vibrant coral reefs teeming with fish are among the finest dive sites anywhere on the planet, drawing visitors from across the world to sunny resorts like Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada. And rising from the stark deserts of the Sinai stands holy Mount Sinai, where, by ancient tradition, Moses received the Ten Commandments, watched over to this day by St. Catherine's, one of the oldest working monasteries on earth. Egypt is a deeply, profoundly spiritual land. It is a great heartland of the Islamic world, home to Al-Azhar, founded over 1,000 years ago and one of the oldest universities anywhere on the planet, and to countless beautiful mosques whose call to prayer echoes across every city. It is also the cradle of one of the world's oldest Christian traditions, the Coptic Church, whose ancient desert monasteries still stand today. For thousands of years, faith of every kind has flowed, like the river itself, through this remarkable and sacred land. And Egyptians are famous above all for their warmth, their quick humor, and their deep resilience. The food is hearty, simple, and much loved. There is kashari, the spiced national dish of rice, pasta, lentils, and crispy onions, creamy full beans simmered overnight, and crispy green tamaya, the Egyptian falafel. In the noise and bustle of the bazaars, the honking traffic, and the laughter of the streets, this most ancient of nations, with one of the youngest populations in the entire region, pulses with an irrepressible, vibrant, and unmistakably modern energy. And then there is football, which Egypt loves with all of its passionate heart. The national team, the pharaohs, are the most successful in the entire history of African football, crowned champions of the whole continent a record 7 times. And in Mohamed Salah, Egypt has produced one of the very greatest players on the planet, a global superstar at Liverpool and a national hero adored by millions at home. From Cairo to Alexandria, when the pharaohs play, the whole country holds its breath. Proud, passionate, and united, they march on towards 2026. The gift of the Nile, of pyramids and pharaohs, of temples and deserts, of a sacred river and footballing glory. That was Egypt from above. If you enjoyed the journey, subscribe. Here on Aerial Atlas, we fly over a new country every single day.